Yeah, that's probably the best idea. unmask when I speak. We're outside. Yep. We should social distance a bit. A little distance again, but I'm going to unmask and then I'm going to distance again. So I'll look taller in the camera. Are you ready? Are you ready? Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Kelley. I'm the president of Cleveland City Council. I appreciate everybody being here today, my colleagues who will introduce themselves as we go forward, but we're here to talk about a very serious issue. This weekend, we saw a horrific spat of carjackings. We saw victims that were brutalized in a way that should never happen in Cleveland, Ohio. Made worse by the fact that as reports came out, we learned that pursuit was not followed in these cases. We need to send a message loud and clear. Enough is enough. If you commit a crime in Cleveland, Ohio, you will be pursued, you will be caught, and you will be prosecuted. There is no middle ground with that. When you look at the crimes that took place, it's gut-wrenching. I get hundreds of emails every day, but I got an email from one of the victims' families, and all I kept thinking is, what if this was me or my family? And that's the urgency with which we all have to treat these matters. And we need to review this. We're going to talk to we're going to hear from the chairman of public safety about what we're going to do as council to look at this policy. But what happened this weekend can never, ever happen again. We need to treat this as if it was our family, if this was our mother, if this was our sister, if this was ourselves. When a call, I understand the balance with the pursuit policy. Certainly we don't need recklessness. We don't need to lose lives for reckless decisions. But here, it seems that we had an opportunity to stop this before subsequent crimes took place. And that's what we're going to get to the bottom of. This can never happen again. The message needs to go out to the criminals. If you commit a crime in Cleveland, Ohio, you will be pursued, you will be caught, and you will be prosecuted. With that, I want to introduce my colleague, Kerry McCormack, the Councilman of Ward 3, and he's the first person that alerted me to this string of events that was happening Saturday, and I think we're all equally disgusted, but Kerry, if you could please step up.
Thank you, Council President, and I appreciate those words. This past Saturday was one of the worst days in my professional career as a council person. Not only did we see 3 violent crimes in our community, a great community, a strong community, a proud community, but multiple times on Saturday, the police were not even allowed to attempt to apprehend the violent criminals that were wreaking havoc in my community. We are proud of our community. We are proud of our neighborhoods. So many people have spent decades making sure that these communities, east to west in the city of Cleveland, are strong, are thriving, and are healthy. As the council president said, we need to send the message loud and clear through our words and through our actions that if you come into our communities, even if it's your next door neighbor or you go into another community and you commit violent crime, we will come after you. And we will come after you with every single tool we have. We cannot tolerate violent crime in our community. Again, neighborhoods across this city, from the very last home on the east side of the city to the very last home on the west side of the city and all in between, are full of residents who care and love our neighborhoods. And they need to know that the city is responding seriously and all hands on deck when this violent crime occurs. The folks that are committing this violent crime, the criminals, need to understand that if they think they can do this with impunity, that ends. If you commit this in our community, we will come after you. We will bring in as many people and tools as we can to ensure you're brought to justice. And the other side of this too is that when people that commit these violent crimes are caught, our judicial system needs to step up to the plate. For these violent, heinous crimes that have lifelong impacts of our victims, to the judges who these folks go in front of, we're watching you. We're watching you. You need to make sure that you're protecting our communities. You need to make sure that you're considering whether releasing a person is a threat to the community. Because if you release a violent criminal, they could go out and continue to commit crimes, which we've seen over and over again. The system must do better. I agree with Council President, there's got to be a balance. Nobody wants to see reckless car chases that hurt innocent people. No one wants to see that. But we cannot send the message or act to let criminals know that they can operate with impunity in our city. That's got to end. That has got to end. Far too many people across city neighborhoods love this city, and it's time that we defend them, protect them, and step up for them. And with that said, I want to invite one of my residents here from Tremont today. She has a message that she'd like to share with you. I want to thank her for her courage being here today, and really just want to thank her for being here today. So if you'd like to come up and say a few words.
I apologize as I am absolutely terrible at public speaking, but I'm here today because I'm proud of Tremont and I want to make changes. So, as my grandmother would always say prior to a speech, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. I plan to do so today. This weekend, my mother was the victim of a violent crime that will forever have a lasting impact on her. I will spare you the details, but will ask you to imagine your own mother kicking and screaming for her own life. This weekend isn't the first time our system failed us, but I think it's the last time it goes unnoticed. The people who I trusted to protect and serve us were unable to do so. Subsequently, there were many other victims after my mother who now bear the trauma she does. Each time these victims were assaulted with a deadly weapon, our cops were told not to pursue. An even larger question at hand is why these juveniles, who have been deemed dangerous in the past, were allowed to walk the streets and continue to evoke physical and mental pain. I know we can't change the past. I have accepted what happened this weekend. What I will not accept is that this will continue. It is time we come together as a community and make changes. We have to look at our policing policies. We have to look at the judges who allow repeat violent offenders to walk the streets and hold them accountable. We have to also take a deeper look at how we can prevent these juveniles from entering such a situation. I can assume somewhere along the way that someone has failed them. We have to be there for them as well. I know there is no quick fix, but I stand here today hoping we can spark change. I got off the phone last night with my grandma, and she left me with these parting thoughts. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Tremont, you are my home, you are my family, and I promise to do my part in helping prevent any of you to feel the way that my family has felt this past week.
And with that, I'd like to ask Councilman Blaine Griffin, who chairs our safety committee, to say a few words.
First of all, I also want to make sure that I introduce the other colleagues that I have with us here today. Councilman Kevin Bishop of Ward 2, the Union Miles neighborhood, as well as Charles Slife, the councilperson for Ward 17. My name is Blaine Griffin. I am the councilperson representing the Ward 6 area of the city of Cleveland, and I am also the chair of public safety. And I too am frustrated, outraged, and beside myself with these heinous acts that have been taking place in our city. I also have a resident that ironically lives directly across the street on the other side of a school from me that was the victim of this heinous crime about a week ago. So all of us across the city, everybody up here has experienced these heinous crimes happening in our area. So we need clarity. We need to make sure that there is a clear message, as all my colleagues have said, that if you commit a crime in the city of Cleveland, that we're going to use whatever resources and do whatever we need to do to make sure that we keep the public safe. And I want to underscore that. The key to this conversation and the key to this press conference today is public safety and the safety of our residents for this city. And I want to make it clear to everybody, we do look at balance. There's also an extreme that we need to deal with another police departments that are coming in from other suburban areas that are driving through our communities unchecked. They need to be working with the city of Cleveland. I do want to commend the Cleveland Division of Police because this week they had a very textbook takedown of these criminals by using the helicopter as well as technology, as well as very tried and proven strategies to get these criminals off the streets. And like my colleague said, we want to make sure that the judges know that we're going to be watching to make sure that no matter what age they are, that they're held accountable. The Public Safety Committee is going to hold a special hearing this upcoming Wednesday, March the 17th at 10 o'clock, where we're going to ask tough questions and hard questions about the chase policy. We're going to make a deep dive. It is my understanding, and I want the entire media and I want all of Cleveland to understand this. It is my understanding that the police department can chase, but there's too much ambiguity. The officers are frustrated. The community are frustrated. We're frustrated. Business owners are frustrated. Everybody's frustrated because we need to make it clear of what we're going to tolerate and not tolerate in this city. So I'm glad to be here supporting my colleague, Councilman Kerry McCormack, who passionately and urgently told myself and the council president when these incidents took place that we need a response and we need one now. So the sense of urgency is heard. The sense of urgency from his constituencies are heard. The constituency of Ward 6, the sense of urgency to do something about this is heard. The police officers, we hear you. We hear everybody that want to make sure that we give clarity when it comes to the chase policy, and that's what we're going to discuss this week. My sincere condolences to the young lady and your grandparents. We feel for you. Don't think just because you live in this neighborhood that all of us from the farthest reaches of the east side to the farthest reaches of the west side are not here with you and your family and all of the families that are victims of these heinous crimes. But we're going to make sure that people are responsible and that we have a policy that is going to keep the community safe. And I say that to make sure that the community understands, don't just try to pick a side. This is a complex issue. But at the end of the day, this council is here to make sure that we give a clear message to the criminals that even though we're going to do constitutionally protected policing and not put the public at risk unnecessarily, we do condone and we do want criminals to be caught, and we will make sure we support our police department when they go after these guys. Thank you so much.